Welcome back to the Pete and Cole podcast. I'm Peter Burns alongside Cole Palestina for this edition. Playoff football has arrived in the NFL, and we've got a few good games for divisional weekend. Cole?
Starts off with Jaguars Chiefs. Should be an interesting game. Both got high-powered offense. Defenses are both a little skeptical, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think, the Chiefs should run away with this one. If they're truly contenders like Chiefs fans and the Chiefs organization thinks, they've got to win this one. Jaguars, you've done your season. Your season has been completed. You've done what you set out to do. This is extra. This is just extra. See if you can knock a guy off. Maybe even, people say that Jaguars are a favorable team. People like to watch them. I just can't see them getting it through. Final score prediction, a lot to a little.
Yeah, what you said is the Jaguars are basically playing with house money at this point. Not really expected to get to the divisional round. Not expected to beat the Chargers, not expected to win the division, so should be interesting. See what they can do. I got the Chiefs, though, to win, but Trevor Lawrence, I think, keep it interesting.
Yeah, definitely. High-powered offense. Looking at the NFL divisional round for the NFC, Giants-Eagles. Now, this one's a little interesting. I have the Giants pulling off an upset. Eagles, as we're going to talk about later, Jalen Hurts is my MVP candidate. Eagles are a good team, solid, win a lot of games. But I just see too many flaws, and a 6-seed Giants team is always scary. You'd never want to go up against a 6-seed Giants. Eagles, too weak, I think. Eagles lose that one, but I think the Giants don't win the NFC Championship. I just think there's too much there with the Giants for the Eagles to beat them. Cole?
Yeah, first of all, the NFC East has been absolutely dominant this year with 3 teams in the divisional round. But it should be pretty interesting. I mean, the Eagles, they have not looked the same without Lane Johnson. I mean, he's coming back, but him and Hurts won't be 100% healthy, so it should be interesting to see what the Giants can do. And Daniel Jones probably played the game of his life last
year. Yeah, and we saw Jalen Hurts, week 18, I believe, he just was refusing to run the ball.
Yeah,
he would be sliding down.
To run.
I hope that if you're an Eagles fan, you want to hope that he's willing to run the ball, because if he's not, I don't think you guys even stand a chance.
No, it's gonna be
but
tough.
If he's able to run the ball at least somewhat decently, you guys will win this game. But I just think it's too much, and I think the Giants win that one. Bengals-Bills, rematch of the Damar Hamlin injury game. Ended 7-3 Bengals.
Yep.
Didn't really matter, though, because, that's the first quarter. This one is going to be tough to choose. It's going to be in Buffalo, which I do not typically
I think it should have been a neutral site game.
It should have been neutral site because the Bengals could have had home field advantage for this.
They easily could have.
But whatever. I think the Bengals come in with a vengeance. I think that the Bills are kind of stunned a little bit. I think the Bills have had a great run, but after that Miami game, I'm scared if I'm a Bills fan. So I think the Bengals win this one.
Yeah, that Miami game was tough for them, only beating them by 3 with their third-string quarterback. So, and we'll see. But Buffalo, it's in Buffalo, it's at home. If it was in Cincinnati, I think I'd be taking the Bengals. Or if it was at a neutral site, I would be taking the Bengals. But just Buffalo, it's a tough place to play in. Josh Allen plays pretty well normally in playoff football, aside from last week. This Bills team just seems like they're prepared for these moments. I mean,
yeah,
the defense
definitely.
is stacked, the offense, the roster is probably second best in the NFL, only behind the Eagles. So they got the players to win. Both teams should be probably the best game in the division round, I think.
And so our final game, Sunday, Super Bowl time slot, 6:30. I've got the Niners here. The offense for the Niners, Kyle Shanahan is probably the best coach.
Coach of the year this year.
Coach of the year this year, offensive coach not of all time, but in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
He is so creative. I don't think this team can lose to a Dallas team that missed 4 extra points, and on top of that, just didn't look at their best against Tampa Bay. They should have blown out Tampa Bay the way Brady was playing. I think the Niners win this one by 1 or 2 scores and advance to the NFC Championship.
Yeah, I got the Niners. The Cowboys played well, but I don't think it will be, no matter what they play, will be good enough to beat this Niners team. They just look too good on offense. With McCaffrey, they got just so many playmakers. Debo, Kittle, Purdy's playing awesome. But the only thing that's going to be interesting is Dallas is a good defense. Brock Purdy has not played any one of this test. He's played like the Falcons,
The Seahawks,
Minnesota. He played not Minnesota.
He played Tampa Bay.
He has not played great defenses, so this is probably his biggest test. And on this stage, super interesting how he performs. Played pretty well in that second half against Seattle. The first half, that was a little skeptical.
Yeah, I'd like to see him perform better, but I just think the run offense is going to be too much. I don't think, even if Purdy only throws screen passes, they win this one.
Yeah, McCaffrey and Mitchell. They're both back, fully healthy. Should be good.
Yep. So for our MVP candidates, for football, I'm gonna take an interesting one here. A lot of people picking Pat Mahomes. He's had a great season. Don't get me wrong, but I would like to talk about Jalen Hurts. His stats aren't great. I'll be completely honest. His rushing stats are amazing. They're a great compliment to his. If you put all his stats together, he's an MVP candidate. But people will look at him just as a passing threat, and the stats aren't gonna add up to the top guys in the league, and so he won't be considered. But he is my candidate because when you saw the Eagles when they had Gardner Minshew in, and Gardner isn't a bad quarterback, they just couldn't perform. And if you told me 5 weeks ago I'd be saying Jalen Hurts is my MVP candidate, I'd call you crazy. But the way this team plays without him healthy is astronomically worse, which is why I picked the Giants to win. I think he is the biggest game changer on that team. A.J. Brown is good, but if you don't have somebody to get him the ball, you can't do anything with it.
Yeah, my MVP pick is Mahomes. 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns. Stats kind of speak for himself. Played better without Tyreek Hill. This team only got better. He's doing everything right. The interceptions were a little higher than normal for Mahomes, but still a pretty low number. But, the way he's carried the team, in every moment they needed him, he's come through.
Yeah, he's definitely that guy that just puts the team on the back. Mm-hmm. But, the reason why I say Jalen Hurts is because, the NFL MVP voters, I just haven't heard a lot about Pat Mahomes this year. For some reason, I don't know if I've not been watching enough Chiefs games, whether it's on Instagram or whatever. I haven't seen a lot of Mahomes. I've seen him like once or twice, but there's not been a lot of him. So I don't know if the MVP voters are going to take that against him. It shouldn't be taken against him, but I don't know if they will. Do you have a second guy that you might put up there?
Allen had a pretty good year. I would take Burrow he probably finished third. Burrow's been amazing this year. This Bengals team out of the gate did not start out well. Started 0-2, losing to Dallas with the backup quarterback. And then the first game, Burrow had 4 interceptions against the Steelers. And this team did not look good. Everyone was saying they're going to miss the playoffs, and now here they are playing the Bills in division round, and they're one of the hottest teams in the NFL besides the Niners.
All right, so we'll switch over to the NBA scene. The season has started out. We're in probably the middle of the season, coming up on All-Star break soon. I saw on the Memphis Grizzlies story that they're going to start the All-Star voting. We'll start with just rankings or standings and where we think we are. I'm a Grizzlies fan, so second in the West, I'll take that. Jaws played well. We're a good team. The Nuggets, I feel like, could be frauds. They're always
playing well. Jokic is he's on another level. But if you can stop him, they got no one else.
And so the Nuggets are always on fraud alert, in my opinion.
How about the Kings this year?
The Kings have come out of nowhere. With the new stadium.
New coach. Everything's looking up for them. Fox and Sabonis are playing great.
The Pelicans.
They're getting contributions from
right.
You guys.
The Pelicans are up there, which is surprising. Zion's finally healthy.
The roster's just loaded with McCollum, Ingram, Zion. Just a great team, great starting lineup.
The only teams I'm looking at here that are kind of surprising are Golden State and LA, the two California teams. Mm-hmm. Golden State won not the World Series. They won the NBA Finals last year. But then again, at this point in the season, they were in the same place they are now. Bottom, play-in tournament. They tend to go up as we go on. I just don't know if Curry's going to be able to carry this team with the start they've had. And obviously the Lakers have been falling off for a while. This is just hurting the LeBron GOAT conversation.
Yeah, I bet the Warriors, they just got Curry back, lost to Celtics in overtime last night. But they're on the road. They're just not the same team at home. The road splits and home splits are crazy to watch. And this team is just not
and you got to think that might be because they're a big shooting team. Shooting on the road is harder than shooting at home. So you got to think that might take into account in that aspect of the standings.
Yeah.
Looking at.
I'll say one thing about the Lakers real quick. They need to make a move. I don't know what they're doing. Russ has been playing great. LeBron's playing great. I think you trade AD right now. It's his highest value. He's injured again. He's not going to give you a full season. I think you need to trade him, make a move, give someone for LeBron and Russ, and then I think they can make a run and maybe at the play-in tournament.
Yeah, if you're the Lakers here, LeBron's career, it's starting to tick away. We would have said the same thing 10 years ago about Brady, and he played for a while, but basketball is a different game than football. Basketball, you don't see guys playing into their 40s,
No.
nevertheless late 30s. So LeBron's already there.
But year 20 for LeBron has been crazy. He's putting up some insane stat lines.
I mean,
dropped 48 the other night.
yeah, but I mean, you got to start worrying about, can we win a championship now, or do we want to get rid of LeBron even because we don't want to waste his career, or does LeBron want to get out of there? So now switching over to the Eastern Conference, no, not surprising.
Mm-mm.
The only team that I will say kind of surprising to see up there, the Cavaliers. I mean, they were a dark horse for a lot of people, and they've played a really good season so far. It's just, I didn't really expect them to see them up there, nor did I expect to see the Nets for that matter.
Yeah, they've fallen off since KD got hurt, but they're still playing good basketball.
Yeah, definitely. Other than that, the game in Paris last night,
That was pretty interesting.
that was pretty interesting. It's always cool when these teams play in different areas. It's always fun to watch. So, last sort of topic of discussion, MVP race for NBA. So
Yeah.
we look at the stats. I think there's a clear favorite at the moment. But Cole seems to have a different idea. So I'm taking Luka, obviously, best points per game, assists he's up there, blocks he's obviously not up there. He's not a
never
big.
been a great defensive player, but
That-
his offense speaks for
His
itself.
offense is just amazing. He's a great player. So obviously he's the candidate right now. He has carried his team to a great placement in
Yeah,
the
he needs
standings.
help.
He does need help, but for now he is carrying this team. One of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
Cole, what are your thoughts on MVP?
I mean, I'm not sure I love Luka. I mean, he's playing great basketball. I respect his game, the way he does it. But I got Giannis. I mean, he's just a monster. Puts up insane stat lines every night. He's going to drop at least 25, basically, give you rebounds, assists, great passing big. He's really developed in that. I mean, the way the Bucks, they're second in the East, and, Middleton is slowly coming back from that ACL injury. I mean, this team's going to be really healthy with
Right.
Giannis, Holiday, and Middleton.
This team is starting to look like that team we saw play the Suns in the finals a few years ago. Last year, not really an off year. They just kind of got knocked out of the
Injuries
playoffs.
ruined them.
It was a quiet year last year for them, as weird as that sounds. So, it's good to see them back up there. Hopefully they can make a run for it. I mean, looking at the Eastern and Western conferences, there's a lot of teams that can make runs for it. Cole's Suns even,
They're struggling.
they're struggling, but
Booker and Paul are hurt. Stuff.
they're still in it. But Luka has to be the MVP favorite. He has carried his team. Great stats. Amazing player to watch. And he's got such a great personality.
He's an insane highlight reel. I mean, it's great for him. I mean, last year, all the critics were saying out of shape, not conditioned, and then he goes and plays 54 minutes the other night on a road game. Just absolutely
Right.
tears it up. I mean, he's gotten in shape. He's done everything right this year. I mean, but he's playing with, Christian Wood is probably the best player on that team. I mean, he's putting up 60 points, and sometimes they might lose those games. It's crazy to think that.
It is crazy to think that.
So definitely when you speak most valuable player, it's definitely got to be Luka. Because if you take him off the Mavericks, they might be 10-30.
Yeah, he is the player on this team. He is the man for this team. This team could not survive without him, and that's what makes an MVP in my opinion. All right, Cole, so it sounds like we've gotten through our agenda today.
Mm-hmm.
Any last words?
No, just excited to watch some good divisional games this weekend. That's it.
Yep. All right, thank you for listening to the Pete and Cole podcast. We will be back soon. Thank you.